Here's Clark, 4 seconds left. Clark fires. You bet! Guarded by Atkins. Atkins gets a poke on it. Here's Clark firing and hitting.
More of that from her, catching around that 15-foot area.
Clark connects.
I thought Paige Beckers was solid. I thought she had a solid first game.
Clark looking to shake Vandersloot. Step back is good. Passing and the way that makes her a threat from so many different places on the floor. Clark, little mid-range is good.
What made that team so good, you two?
Outside. Set all kinds of three-point records last year. Here's Caitlin Clark driving. She's got the first 5 points.
Clark pulls off that screen, knocks it down even.
Every once in a while, you see a player who completely redefines what's possible on the basketball court. Right now, that player is Caitlin Clark. Tonight, she didn't just play. She controlled.
That's putting up some buckets. It sure was. Top 4 scorers at the college level here in this one as in studio.
What's up, Ari? Welcome to the studio, girl.
Caitlin off glass.
So the best thing you can do as a defender is not give it to her.
Clark. Back-to-back triple.
Oh, it told me about you at Texas Tech. They wanted the offensive foul, not gonna get it.
Dangerous pass. It's Clark who's off to the races. And Caitlin Clark pulls the fever back with
48 triples coming into the game.
Logo! Clark thought about pulling up from 3. Will dip inside and lay it in.
Clark, pull up 3, that one.
Every second of the game, leaving defenders spinning and fans absolutely stunned. The moment she touched the ball, you could feel the anticipation. Defenders pressed up on her, desperate to take away her shot. But Caitlin doesn't just rely on her jumper.
Clark.
Clark with it. We got a tie ball game. Clark unties it. Harrington off the markers. Clark steps into a 3 and knocks it down. Brina had this crowd on a string at Barclays as Clark able to bank it in on the drive.
Kumbawale. To McCowan, and now it's 10. Caitlin bottled up, but it doesn't matter.
Much better for Connecticut.
Caitlin Clark strong to the rack.
And at least in the fourth quarter, an 8-3 rebounding advantage. Clark pulls, fires.
She uses that pressure against you. A quick crossover, a hesitation dribble, and suddenly she was slicing through the lane for an easy finish. She makes even the toughest defenses look helpless.
Gets it ahead to Clark. Clark will drive, get to the rim, lay it in. It's Connecticut everywhere. Here's Clark with Banham guarding her. Clark gets bumped, will take, and hit from...
And we're going to expect a big night here for Cunningham. She does a good job stepping in when she needs to.
Clark, Connecticut an early 9-point lead. Clark a 3. It's good.
Composure and be her balance so well around the basket.
There's Caitlin Clark. Wow, what a...
Clark stepping back and hits a 3. It is Caitlin Clark able to clear for Indiana.
Caitlin coming off that 20-point performance right here, handling the physicality of an ice.
Her range is, as always, something to marvel at. She hit threes from distances that would make most players hesitate. But for Caitlin, those aren't heat checks. They're part of her regular arsenal. The defense had no choice but to extend way beyond the arc, which only opened up more space for her teammates. That's the kind of impact.
Clark on the hesitation. Clark with him.
In the NCAA tournament. And I was like, what do they feed the players in Texas?
And Kelsey Plum combining for 42 of Vegas' 61 points. Clark was able to... Caitlin hit it!
Here's Clark. Here comes Sabali. Clark drags her out, races in. Clark will lay it home.
Yeah, I had an old coach back in high school call it organized chaos, meaning being able to play fast but under control.
And here's Clark who lays it in on the...
She knows how to use her body and get to her spots, being able to affect that defense.
Clark is coming off the masterful night and starts his...
Only a generational shooter can have. But the real magic tonight was her passing. The way she sees the floor is unreal. She dropped dimes through tight windows, whipped cross-court passes that hit shooters perfectly in stride, and made no look for
passing, and the way that makes her a threat from so many different places on the floor. Clark, little mid-range is good.
All over the floor. Clark penetrating.
And now with 22 seconds to go, here's Clark off the screen. The three-pointer is good.
Zune trying to frustrate Clark. Oh, but Clark with 3 more. Levish hounding Clark. Clark, step back 3, knocks it down. Initial surge. Clark on the drive, gets to the rim and the fifth.
Clark, as we mentioned, only 3 points in the second half. She had 13 in the first half, but has picked up a triple-double here today. And gets
Not shooting the three that easily or that comfortably.
feeds that seemed impossible until you realized, oh, that's Caitlin Clark. It wasn't just about assists. It was about creating rhythm and trust for her team. Her composure was on full display too. Traps, double teams, pressure. Nothing rattled her.
Clark working Mabry, separating, taking, and hitting. Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Caitlin Clark running things. 8 assists, 15 points in the first half. Looking to add to her.
Alyssa Thomas for making some of her great passes.
No one picks up Clark, who cans the 3.
Just under 8 minutes to play. Clark finds some space and hits a 3.
Looking for a screen, didn't get one. Now Will from Boston splits the double team. She'll flip it up with the right hand and score. Caitlin Clark
Trying to make something happen. Behind the back. Taps the basket and gets her.
Leading the way out of that backcourt. Clark, Boston screen, fire away, hits a 3.
She stayed cool, patient, and made the right play again and again. That poise under fire is what makes her not just a scorer, but a true floor leader. And of course,
Around women's basketball, they understand their impact and what it has done and how they are living out their dreams today.
And right on cue.
The Sky shooting 38%. Caitlin Clark, another. And the 8th rebound for Caitlin Clark. The runner falls off the glass.
So the best thing you can do as a defender is not give it to her.
Clark. Back-to-back triple.
This game, the pace of this game, I'm not quite sure who is benefiting. I guess you have to say the Wings right now because they're up.
Clark turned the corner. Comes up with a steal. Clark thought about pulling up from 3. Will dip inside and lay it.
Has made the most triples for LA. That's her 41st.
Clark stepping back on the baseline.
when the game was on the line, Caitlin did what she always does: deliver. A step-back 3 in crunch time sent the arena into chaos, sealing yet another
5 run here for the Mystics after the Fever rattle off the first 5. Clark trying to answer, and does, with a...
Of that run to the finals before the Liberty fell to the Aces in 4 games. Clark connects.
Clark with the basketball. 9 total points in the game, steps it back from 3, knocks it down.
Of size and strength and experience on the interior.
Clark on the drive, gets inside, and there's...
Want to stay with that tempo, maybe even tire the Fever out a little.
Clark working on Natisha Heidemann, who's just checked in. She's a good defender, too, and Clark, that was of the 4th. Here is Clark turning on the Jets. Clark gets to the rim.
Unforgettable performance. By the end of the night, Caitlin Clark had once again shown why she's more than a rising star. She's a force, a phenomenon.
Important not to pick up the second because she got 2 in the first quarter against Connecticut.
Clark connects.
the break. Here's Clark, still trying to find her rhythm. A deep pull, got it.
That backcourt. Clark, Boston screen, fire away, hits a 3.
Had an open look from 3, didn't take it. Only 3 to shoot. Gonna have to make something happen. Clark through the lane, reverse.
Picked up now by Dee Richards as she's into the ball game. Richards on the floor. Clark, the step back 3 just below the logo, drills it.
Need him to finish out his last a little bit.
Clark, step back, hits a 3.
To Caitlin Clark. all night tonight.
Are you talking about my high school experience? Clark connects!
And a player who turns every game into a show you simply can't miss.